So next we're going to use form. I'm going to do base with polygel and then the structure with hard gel. So we're going to combine this product. The form that I'm going to use will be by Tones. This is one of the brands that I can recommend. Also, I like the Harmony one. So you see, they also have plenty of these lines. So you can easily fit it. So I think I'm not going to use this middle part. Sometimes you can. Well, I think I don't really need that for this client. And I'm going to start cutting it while it's still on the paper, because it will be easier to, to try if it fits while it's still on the paper. So we need to cut the white according to the white of your natural nail. And the more you do that, the more you will kind of feel how it works. So now I'm just following the line that we already have on the form. Nothing like new here. And then you first you just do the cut that you think might work. And then you just check it if it does. Okay, so now if I will make it look like it fits, it's gonna be way upwards, which means I need to do a narrow cut right here from the sides. And also you see I didn't cut the paper perfectly. So I know that some nail technicians are not using forms because they have this struggles when fitting them, because they just don't want to just don't know how to fit them and are not happy with the result that they have. And I totally get that. It's quite challenging, to tell you the truth. Even experienced nail technicians who have many clients, even who win some awards, sometimes they come to my class and they are still struggling with the forms. It happens. So this part is a bit wider, so I'm going to narrow it up. I think that's gonna be it. So yeah, it takes practice, it takes the understanding on how to fit the form depending on the nail. So you see now it's perfectly under the nail from one side to the other, just like the tip. I'm going to apply dehydrator. I'm going to apply non-acid primer on the entire nail this time because we do not have any tips. Thin coat, do not apply too much, do not touch the skin. And then I'm going to use a base coat. So I really like this one. It works with any product. But if you have the system that, like the gel system, that already has its own base gel, it's better to use the one that they offer. So here again, we need to have a very thin coat. Do not touch the skin, do not apply too much. It's okay if you leave a tiny gap, a tiny margin near the cuticle, and then we cure it for 30 seconds. I will be using IBD Control Gel Clear. And also I have this special liquid for polygel, and I have a brush. So you see I have two same brushes. They're not really look the same, but they are. I mean, they used to. And this one is for polygel, that, the one that has glitter on. So I just know that I'm going to use it for polygel only because you cannot mix them. This one's for polygel, it's going to be only for polygel, nothing else. Now I'm going to fit the form. I'm going to take it off from the paper, connect this lower tabs. Okay, so also now when I'm doing this, I remember there was a great question about how do you manage to fit the forms with gloves, because they tend to stick to them. Yeah, that's a great question. As you can see, yeah, I do struggle a bit even still, but I mean, just get used to it, because I mean, you can take them off, but now with all this Corona stuff, it's better not to. So, you know, you just get used to it. You just try not to touch this sticky part too much. You mostly touch this area. And that's pretty much it. So now, if you're not sure, you want to take a look from all of the views, like, let's see if we can do it like that. From this view. So you see, we actually do have a little gap right here. And the gap not here from, so you see, like from this view, it's all good. No gaps here. But the gap from this view, sometimes there might be a tiny one, because if the client has, let's say, a flat nail, and you want to create a deep curve, then, well, there will be a little margin. Also, some clients has, you know, like a U-shaped curve, and you want to create a different one. But remember, you need to try to still flatten it down so it won't be like that different. So the gap, like somebody was asking, should be like super tiny. I don't know if you can see it, but you see it's so tiny you cannot even see it. Okay, so we can take off the sticky layer from the base coat now if you want to, but we don't need to. Now, so you see now, does it look like the scheme I showed you on the paper? So we have a nail and we have form that's perfectly straight according to the shape of the finger. Now I'm going to use Polygel. And since I'm going to create a tip now, remember? So that means we need just a tiny bit. Hopefully this will be enough. Well, if it won't, we're just gonna take more, right? And then let's apply it. You do not really need to apply it so it touches the nail, but since the Polygel I'm working with is rather thick, it's just easier to do it that way. But you can just start working on the form. And yeah, clear product is probably not the best option so you guys can see all the details, but you know, we just want to do a glitter nail too, so I had to sacrifice for it because yeah, nude color can be definitely seen better here. Okay, so yeah, actually clear product is, well, you need to really be careful when applying that because even I cannot fully see everything. And now you cannot as well because I'm blocking the view. Okay, so you see I have this a little bit remaining on my orange wood stick and I'll just add it. So sometimes you just want to add a little bit more to this side just to make sure you do not have an empty space there or a gap. So if you miss some space there and you have a gap, that's not that big of a problem because, I mean, you can add it later, right? But I recommend, you know, just try doing this perfect platform like we just had a tip. Oh my God, now I can not see. Yeah, now I see that we're missing a little bit of the sidewall right here. We're going to add it. Well, that's the advantage of gel and Polygel. You can have all the time in the world, or well, all the time that clients allows you to work on her to fix the product. Like with acrylic, well, with acrylic we can add 2 on the form, but still it's limited because it cures on air. While with gel or Polygel, it will only cure in the lamp, so you have, okay, more time. Okay, well, I hope that's enough. And we're just cure. We do not really need to take off the form right now, but I will because I want to show you. Otherwise, you guys will not be able to see. Okay, so this is a self-made tip. Well, I didn't pinch it now because it's rather thin, and also you see I fit the form in a certain way, so it's not really wide right now. And then we're going to apply gel. So if you want, if you need to, at this point you can also file and shape it a little bit. I mean, what I would want to shape probably, well, this line a bit, but other than that, not really. So let's just not waste time on that now. As for sticky layer, also we do not need to take it off, but I think it's better to do that because the sticky layer from Polygel is a bit different than the one from the gel, and it just will be a bit more comfortable to apply on it. And also once we do, it's a bit matte and it's a bit easier to see. Yeah, I think you can see. I just want to show you the thickness, so how thin it is now. Pretty thin. And you see the curve? So the only way to achieve that is by fitting the form properly. Okay, so now we're going to apply gel. And according to the length, yeah, I think I'm going to do that in 2 steps. Oh yeah, I am going definitely to do that in 2 steps since I'm going to use the color. But even if I didn't, I would probably do that in 2 steps because clear gel, when applied in a thick layer, right away might have heat spikes. But since today we have a glitter party, we are going to use this beauty, and I have no idea. And professional, that's the only gel that I have from this brand. I just really like the color. All right, so first I'm going to apply it just to see how this beautiful color looks like. I just have concerns, you know, if it's going to be too much of a see-through. But if it will, we'll just apply something on top. All right, also this gel is rather thin. That's why I cannot really apply too much. Oh my God, yes, it's extremely thin. So we just, then we not just, if we apply too much right now, it's just gonna run to the sides. So we're gonna create it. Yeah, I guess we're gonna need a couple of layers of that, and then we can seal it with clear. So when the gel is thin like that, you don't even really need to do anything. You just kind of direct it where you want it to go, and just make sure it will not flood the skin. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so we have some product missing here, and I will show you how to fix that soon. Meanwhile, we'll cure it. Let's do another layer. I will do exactly the same stuff. Yeah, we don't even need to do this slippery layer because this gel is so thin. You just apply it. Okay, so I will take another drop and go all the way from the cuticle towards the free edge. So you see I'm mostly applying it in the middle because it will spread on the side walls a bit by itself. Well, we are going to help the gel to do that, of course, but it's also going to help you. Okay, cure. Well, we need to be pretty fast when working with this kind of consistency. So then we need to build the structure, and I'm probably going to use this one, Clear Smooth. This one is by En Vogue. My goal was to show you as many products as possible, so that's why I pick all 3, and just to make it a bit faster, we did 2 nails. Like, if you can do the same using just gel, or you can do the same using just acrylic. We can take just a huge drop right now and seal the entire nail. But it's better if we will straighten out the surface first. So you see here, like we have a bit of uneven surface, and I want to fix that first. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just applying gel right here, only on the free edge. And then I'm going to take, I don't know, I call it thread. you know, like a thread, and, you know, just put it from this side to this. And that's enough. And basically it's gonna fill this area by itself, because that's where the product was missing. Well, and you can slightly blend it so it's not gonna just stay like that. And now we'll have the smooth surface for encapsulation. Here. Now it's gonna be once again another challenge, clear on clear. I mean, clear on glitter is almost. This is a challenge for the eyes. So we will. The reflection of the light will be our guarding light. Okay, so then I take about this amount of gel. We have pretty much on the cuticle already, so I'm just going to slightly encapsulate it. And then we're going to seal it. Well, it looks pretty once we seal it. It's a bummer the nail is see-through. And then I'm gonna need more. So I personally prefer this kind of consistency. It's like medium. It's not too runny and it's not too thick, because it like helps you to create a perfect surface while it's not running too much. With a thicker consistency, it's not gonna go anywhere, but you need to do some work to apply it. So if you spend too much time on that, what you can also do is just to, okay, another way. Yeah, just to turn the hand around and let the gravity help you a bit. And it actually will. And then we cure it. If it burns, just let me know and jump out of the lamp so we can pinch it. So with gel, we cannot really hold it while it's curing. It's okay, doesn't hurt. You sure? Okay. And then, so we cured it for only 20 seconds now, and now we need to cure the remaining time. So the full time is 1 minute, so 60 minus 20 equals 40. So now we need to cure the remaining 40 seconds. So we need just a little bit on the apex. Let me show you. Oh, okay, you can see it from the side view. So we need a little bit here. And we have already enough in the cuticle area, on the sidewalls, so no need to add anything there. That's why I'm going to apply gel only in the middle, only in the area where it is missing. And then I'm going to take another drop and apply it like that. So you see, like, only where I need it, and then I'm going to slightly blend it. Looks pretty cool when you cover the glitter with the gel. It's like shines so much better. All right. Cure. Looks like it is cured. Let's just cure one more just to be sure. Okay, you can see it from here. So I just put a clip. Now we take off the sticky layer. So you see also the difference, like the gel, it's like clear and glittery right away, while the acrylic is matte after curing. But after we file them and shape them and seal with a top coat, they both are going to be shiny. So the better you apply the product, the less you'll have to file. Okay, this one is a bit longer. Wow, I did the longer one on the forms. Now that's unusual. Okay, now let's file the surface. So I am using 180 grit file. I rarely use something else. I mean, coarser file, because, well, sometimes maybe 150, but if you have to use like 100 grit or even, oh my God, 80, which I never recommend using, that means, what it means? That means you apply too much product. I mean, right? I mean, if you have to use that harsh of abrasive, they're just too much to file. So I would recommend to practice more on the product application. Now I have a very cruel exercise for my students at live class. I mean, I cannot apply it to online class. Well, actually, maybe we should. Anyway, so this is what I do. First, practice. The students do extensions. And when it's time to file, just imagine their first time applying acrylic. Usually there's like tons of product. If you guys remember your first nails, you know what I'm talking about. And then I just give them 180 grit file and nothing else. I do not let them use 150 or especially 100. And then what they do, they file this tons of products with 180. And by the end of the day, they cannot feel their biceps, triceps, you know, none of their muscles, because obviously they had to file a lot. And do you know what happens the next day? Well, except for that they cannot feel their hands. They apply like 3 times less product and they get such a better result. I know it's kind of cruel, but it works. So, I mean, if you are learning, or maybe if you will attend our class, maybe you can try that too. If you feel like being hard on yourself. So the reason why people usually, when they just start learning product application, it doesn't even matter gel or acrylic, usually they tend to apply more than needed. And the reason for that is just that you cannot really feel the amount of product you take on a brush compared to what you will have on the nail, right? You cannot really imagine that yet. And well, that's fully understandable because you didn't have this experience yet. That's why we added some exercises, like there's an exercise when you need to apply acrylic beads on the paper and, you know, to fill in a certain place. Then we have exercises on the tips that you do like without the model. You just first practice this application. And I think these exercises, they're very important because you need to learn to feel the product first, you know, just to know how to work with it before you apply this skill and knowledge to the real life, well, to models or clients. This glitter gel, it got a little bit to the side right here. You see, so we need to fix that, and that will be it. So gel and polygel are a bit easier to file rather to acrylic. So that's why it usually takes a little less. But I always say that ideally the shaping and filing of the entire set should not take longer than 15, max 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes is truly like max time. Okay, so I think, yeah, now is always the time. Actually, we can, yeah, I think we can make it a bit thinner right here. You can probably cannot really see it, guys, because it's clear. I myself can hardly see it. So if you want to make the nails thinner, you need just to file this area, but I do not recommend filing like that, because what you will do, you just make an illusion that they are thinner, which may be fine as well. But if you want to actually, yeah, I think that's the perfect angle. So you see from this angle, we can actually see this thickness and make it fully thinner. So now I think it's almost like a credit card thickness. That's what I would call it. Okay, that's enough. We need to stop at some point, right? And now I will ask my model to wash the hands, because I'm not sure I can handle that much dust by myself. I'm going to use this beautiful shiny, you know, I just keep this bottle for the webinars because, I mean, it's just too pretty to use every day. Shiny by Exclusive Nail Couture. Please don't be ugly. Okay, well, yeah, the color colors, oh yeah, because I was really afraid that it's going to be yellow or something. Well, luckily it's not. Well, maybe a little bit from certain angles here. Wow. Yeah, here we have finished clear nails.